Newport go top, Llanelli climb to third, Bargoed go bottom, but they do have a few games in hand.
So that is the Premiership. On to the Championship, but I spent yesterday enjoying the sunshine and the hospitality at Pontypool RFC. Now, Pooler had already won the Championship, but they were being presented with the trophy yesterday, so they were desperate for another win in front of their home fans. Pontypool Park looks an inviting place in the spring sunshine. But for visiting sides during the glory days of the 70s and the 80s, it was an intimidating arena.
It was basically a case of law of the jungle. You know, that was what was impressed on me when I was a young 18-year-old kid.
They were feared opposition, and I think it was great. I think to see a club with a sort of that was their philosophy. And you couldn't move away from that, and they were successful as a result of it. It's something they believed in, you know, and great memories.
Since then, the famous club has suffered mixed fortunes. 5 years ago, it stood on the brink of oblivion before a generous businessman came to the rescue.
I came along and wrote a cheque to bail the club out. It's a club I've followed since I was a child. And I thought that would be the end of it. I'll just write the cheque and leave them get on with it. But it soon became apparent that the infrastructure wasn't there in the club to move in the professional era. And that's when we got more involved.
Today we're hoping to have well over 1,000 people here just celebrating what we've achieved, what the team's achieved, because there's a lot that goes into it off the field, but on it they have to deliver, and they've done that in abundance this season. So it's really interesting to see how you can take something that's a shell of itself and reinvigorate it, and it's been great for the town of Pontypool.
Despite having won the Championship with 3 games to spare, there'll be no Premiership promised land. That's because the tier above has been ring-fenced for 3 seasons, a source of continued frustration. As
a rugby fan, first and foremost, you want to see that element of jeopardy. It's why football works so well. It's a very simple structure. You're not good enough, you go down. You're good enough, you go up. So we'll be knocking on a few doors, I think, in a couple of years, saying, look, we need to go up and prove ourselves.
The fact that it's ring-fenced for 3 years is a little bit annoying.
Players work very hard. They clearly get the wins, and I think it would be good for the supporters if they did go up.
Is it something that's under review?
At the end of every season, there is a review, but whether people are prepared to put their hands up, because at the end of the day, the clubs at the time voted for the ring fencing. It wasn't a WI diktat or whatever, so that was the decision made by clubs at the time. So you can't just keep on moving the goalposts. I think that was the plan for 3 years. So unless there is a strong demand and a sort of agreement, if you like, that can be broken, then I suspect it's going to be carrying on for another couple of years or so.
Pooler's triumph has come at a time when professional rugby in Gwent is facing an uncertain future. Next month, the shareholders of Newport RFC will vote on whether to accept the WIU's offer to buy Rodney Parade. If it's a no, the future of the Dragons looks precarious.
All we've done is sort of put an offer on the table that we think can enable professional rugby to continue in Gwent, and indeed for semi-professional rugby to continue in Newport. You know, people claim that this is some sort of grand plan by the union. I can assure you it's not. I can assure you we don't want to be purchasing property. That's not why we're in business. Our business is to develop and to promote the game.
I have to be honest, I think the Dragons has proved it's been a failed organisation, and there's no consequence to us whether the Dragons goes tomorrow. We'd be more sad if Newport went, because we've had historically really great rivalries with them, and we'd love the opportunity to go to the Premiership and continue that.
We thought that it was going to be a foregone conclusion by half-time, but this is turning into quite a game.
Yeah, it's quite a game, isn't it? Good for them. I like Tattersteel anyway, but Pontypool on my side, you know. I knew them all, Pricey, all them, and Faulkner, I knew them all.
We can't have asked for anything more today, I don't think.
It was an excellent game.
Really, really enjoying it, and it's so nice seeing so many people here as well today, seeing Pontypool Park Club.
We haven't had a crowd like this for decades, I would say. You know, we're always one of the best supported clubs when we were in the Premier Division, and now we get a regular support better than most of the Premier Division clubs do. But I mean, this is I suppose it's a measure of the feeling for the club in this area.
It's huge history, you know. In the shirt, everyone who puts a shirt on today knows the history of the club, knows the boys that come before them, and they really want to work hard for each other. You know, a shame we're in the championship, but we've got to keep plugging away, and hopefully, 2 years' time we'll be back on the top, so back where we should be.
Moving like lightning there, Gareth Davis, to get out of the way of the champagne. Many congratulations to Ben Parry and his team, and as I say, had wonderful hospitality at Pontypool, apart from the guy who told me to look fatter on the telly. So if you're watching, thanks for that. Gwyn, I think we got a flavour of the sentiment there from the guys in the crowd. All very proud of their team, delighted to be crowned champions, runaway leaders, but a palpable sense of frustration that they're going to be bouncing against that glass ceiling for another 2 seasons. Do you have any sympathy for their frustrations?
Well, obviously, and congratulations to them, and they're playing an important part of the local community, and they're a huge part of Welsh rugby's heritage, mythology, born of almost the 70s. But I'm an unapologetic elitist when it comes to professional rugby, and I think the ring fencing is important, and I think that teams should have reflected glory or success in the players they develop to go on and represent Wales, rather than the ambitions of the club seeking to travel through the leagues. We've seen it with teams like Dunvant going up and down. A lot of money spent on players which have just come from other areas, and that's what would happen if they would go up. They'd have to buy in new talent. Same players getting different money from different sources. So I say develop players, but let the players go on and be an important hub for the community.
I guess the challenge they'll face now, Nicky, knowing they've got another 2 years of this and the same thing could happen the next 2 seasons, they could run away with it and not go up, is keeping that nucleus of players together, because some of them surely will get restless and think, I want to go to the next tier, and if I can't do it for Pontypool, I'll do it for another club.
Yeah, possibly. And what they have to build there is a togetherness and a team spirit, that they know what their plan is, that the next 2 years is possibly a bit of tread in water, but keep building, so when the ring fences finishes, they're ready to make that step up, and whether that's recruiting other players, almost like in the championship with Bristol, when they go down, they have to recruit players knowing that they will go up, and obviously if they keep performing as they have done, that is almost guaranteed for them, so they can plan properly to be in the Premiership when the ring fencing finishes.
OK, I think we got a flavour of your Judgment Day predictions earlier, but I'm going to ask you just to nail the colours to the mast. Blues, Ospreys?
Blues. No doubt.
Obviously.
A bonus point win for the Scarlets. Can't see anything else.
There we are. Gents, thanks for your company tonight. That is all we have time for here on Scrum 5. Next week, of course, as discussed, we will be live from the Principality Stadium for the Blues against Ospreys on Scrum 5 Live, and the Dragons against the Scarlets on S4C. Make sure you join us, and if you can't, make sure